Black Mona Lisa. Everything perfect, baby. Masterpiece. It's BaNCroll, perfection. Passport Bizzy. Just different nigga. Elegant paintings on the wall, we destined to ball. And we ain't worried about them haters, especially y'all.
So one, let me introduce myself. My name is Diamond Alexis, and I'm from Kinston, North Carolina. So tell me, what's your name and where are you from?
I'm from Kinston also, okay. You know about that. And I'm BaNCroll Bizzy. You know what I mean? BaNCroll with a C, NC. It's putting on NC, so that's what the NC is about.
All right, so what does North Carolina mean to you?
Oh, North Carolina, you know, that's my birthplace. I lived in a lot of places, but that's my home out of Kinston, North Carolina. Big college basketball fan, because that's college basketball nation. Just family, that's what North Carolina means.
Yeah.
Roots.
So you mentioned basketball. I do want to touch on that because a lot of people do know North Carolina for basketball, but not for music. So what do you want to do to make your impact in the music scene?
Honestly, I'm bringing back diversity, but I'm also bringing the street culture to North Carolina because we have our platinum artists that we have from North Carolina. We have maybe 2 or 3. We have the Baby, and we have J.Cole. And we might have P. Pablo. So those are 3 major artists. Yeah. But all of them were like kind of animated, good artists. But they just were all kind of animated, and they all were 3 different type of artists. So I'm bringing the street culture that they didn't have per se, not in a bad way, but you'll see in the music. People see when they tune into the music.
Okay, so growing up, who are some of your influences that you have musically and just influence you, period?
Growing up, it's funny you said that. A lot of my major influence would probably be my father. A lot of men and female hustlers in the family, so I was raised by hustlers, grinders. You know, as far as musical influences, not just rap. I grew up with a lot of rap, but I grew up with a lot of old school 70s R&B, Teddy P. You know what I mean? My mom from that era, Betty White, Otis Redding. Oh wow. You know, Luther Vandross, all that stuff. It's street music, but it's also you hear the old school, you hear the some of the newer music. I'm a diverse artist, and on this mixtape Recess Over that I have coming out at the end of the month, you'll be able to see that.
Why did you get into music?
Why? Okay. Music is one of the things with me. It's just always been natural. I was raised around music. Like I said, my brother was a DJ. You know, I was raised in a legendary music area. Honestly, Jay Flex from the radio station 92.1 in Kinston. I grew up on the same block with him. And also with music, you know, music is therapeutic to me because that's my therapy. You know, tell people how I feel and you know, things of that nature.
What would you want your influence to be on your community?
Oh man, I kind of want that same effect that I just was talking about. I want to have the positive effect on the kids. I want them to see that they can do things the right way, and that you know it can be a positive role model from the community that's going to give back to the community also. I don't want to be one of those guys because I'm going to make it, and I don't want to be one of those guys that make it and don't give back to the community.
So where did the name come from? How did you come with that name?
BaNCroll Bizzy, man, it's a lot with that name. BaNCroll for one, you know. First I started with the Bizzy. Bizzy, that just came from an old group I used to be in, Black Ice, where it kind of came. It derived from a bunch of different names. I got a song called "Get the Money and Go," and that kind of tell the story about Bizzy. I'm just a busy guy as far as I'm active. You know, and BaNCroll is just BaNCroll Bizzy. I'm busy for the money. You know what I'm saying?
So tell us about the tape that you have dropping at the end of this.
It's called Recess Over. Okay. It's gonna be dropping. I'm gonna say the first week of April.
Man, it's recess over. Only real niggas outside. They ain't impressed with your weak ass rhymes. They call me BaNCroll, but they ain't never fold. I'm 10 toes when platinum on the stove. Get it crackin', my shit glow. Used to pump on strips that was hotter than Crisco.
I have a few artists. I don't really want to get into names right now, but I have one of my artists from the music label. We have H.O.S Music Group. We'll get into that. But I have an artist coming, J Magnum. He's gonna be on I have another local artist that's big, but I'm not gonna say his name. People will see him. People will hear about that in the beginning of April also when the tape drop. I have another young lady. Don't really want to say names just yet, but I have another young lady out of Kingston, and yeah, I can't get into that too much because I don't want to let the cat out the bag. You know, people be swagger jacking and stuff.
Understandable. Yeah. Completely understand as a creator.
But recess over is, you know, basically saying that recess over time for all the fake rappers to come in. You know what I'm saying? Like playtime over. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really time. It's time for bars to come back.
Yeah.
That's what the recess over about. It's not just you can't just dance and get on no more. You can't just come over to dance or jig and. It's time for bars, you know, got the pandemic, so people sitting in really tuning in on the music, and it has to be like authentic.
So speaking of the pandemic, because we've been in it for almost a year, so what have you learned throughout this pandemic?
Oh man, I learned that your hustle has to be on steroids. That's what I learned. Your hustle definitely has to be on steroids because if not, then you know you get caught up in this and you'll end up waiting on a stimulus check. And we don't wait on checks, you know what I'm saying? We don't wait on stimulus checks anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I think the pandemic was a great learning tool for people, you know, to learn that you can't just depend on the government and wait on the government to give you money, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people lost businesses, you know, a lot of people lost a lot of money in the pandemic. Yeah.
Definitely agree. All right, so we're talking about entrepreneurs, your family. So tell us about H.O.S. Music Group.
H.O.S. Music Group, okay. H.O.S. Music Group, that's the label, because I'm not just an artist, I'm also CEO of the record label. It's Hustle on Steroids Music Group. It's self-explanatory, but it's basically a Kingston, Raleigh-based, you know, record label, and we're looking for up-and-coming artists.
Okay. Yeah. So when you're looking for an artist, what type of artist would you want to have on the label?
First and foremost, a coachable artist. You know, someone that's going to be able to listen and someone that's willing to grow. Because that's the only way you're going to be able to grow is if you listen. You know, you got to be able to accept constructive criticism. Other than that, I'm not discriminating. You know, white, black, no sex or nothing. It's all about the character of the person. You know, I need people with good character. I need people with talent. You know, and people that's just driven. And that's the type of artist I'm looking for.
So what do you think, you know, artists on the Eastern North Carolina bring different to the table that is needed now? Well,
what I want the artists to bring to the table, and I have seen artists recently doing this from the East, is bars. They kind of, you know, the South, we kind of got a reputation for being dancing and jigging and stuff. You know, dancing, and that's our main thing. You know, we get a lot of flack for that, dancing and just making party music, and it's not about that at all, you know. So we're going to bring the bars back, we're going to bring the lyrics back, we're going to bring our identity back, the culture, and at the same time have fun. We're going to have dance and all that, you know. So it's going to be a good thing.
Okay, dancing, bars. Yeah. So how do you balance being a CEO and also an artist as well?
It's a lifestyle. It's hard to balance. But, you know, if you really want something done, you just have to be a conscious effort every day. I live, sleep, drink, CEO. You know what I mean? When I leave here, we might go somewhere else and do something with some t-shirts. We might do something with some hoodies. I might come back and I'm doing the music, and we might have a cab service going on or something. Anything. That's what Hustle on Steroids is about. Yeah. You know, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Whatever you're doing, if you're doing something and you're doing it for yourself and you're paying yourself, you're hustling on steroids.
Yes, and just shout out to the fiance because she came in, got to work, still supporting. We love to see it. Yeah, hustle on steroids. You know, jumping in, hustling, doing what you got to do.
Rising to the occasion.
So how did y'all, you know, come up with that name, Hustle on Steroids?
I said in a rap, and my brother just coined the phrase, and we put it on a t-shirt one day, and we just saw that it explained us. You know what I mean? So, and it stuck with us. And it was just, you know, it's self-explanatory. So, hustle on steroids, you're hustle on steroids, you're hustle on steroids, and I mean, it's overpowering everybody else.
Now you brought up the hoodie, so let's go ahead and talk about the clothing line also that you have too. So,
first of all, they can go to hustleonsteroids.com. You can check out the merch there. We on IG. The link is in the bio. We have hoodies, we have athleisure. You know, we kind of got stagnated with the pandemic, like all those businesses we just were talking about. But we're actually back up and running now, you can check us out. We have, like I said, we have athleisure, we have hoodies, t-shirts, we have masks, etc. So
gotta be masked up now.
Gotta be masked up. We have the Hustle Safe mask.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Telling everybody hustle safe while you're out here. We have the bling mask.
Okay.
You know, so yeah, go check us out.
Niggas can't fuck with me. On no days, nigga. I'm a high class hustler. I'm a high class hustler. Yeah. BaNCroll, the high class hustler. Yo, high class hustler. Ain't nothing like you busters. Rock diamond clusters, AK straight from Russia. Niggas couldn't flex on me if they had muscles.
Got the salmon going, you know, freaking real nice. So shout out to the servers that kept coming back, making sure that it was good. You know, shout out to them. So you know, a lot has happened with the pandemic, with social media.
Right.
How do you feel like social media has impacted the music industry?
It's definitely made an impact because things was way harder. It was all analog back then. You was going to record labels, to the buildings, and going directly to the label trying to get your tape played and stuff like that. Now with social media, you don't need any of that. People going platinum off of TikTok. You know, people going platinum off IG or whatever, and it's like, I love it because it empowers the person. It empowers the person instead of the business. You know, you don't need anybody. You can do everything yourself.
Yes.
So I love that.
Let's go back to the music though. So what is one of your favorite songs from your catalog? Okay.
That's personal to me, but Black Mona Lisa, Overconfident, that's very dear to me too.
I'm just being honest, kid. That's because a nigga been through all kind of shit. Shotgun slugs almost blew my leg off. What I do the therapy and walk the shit off.
I'm gonna say high class hustler.
High class hustler. Hustler, your favorite word?
One of them.
Yeah. So if you could tell your younger self advice or about your journey, what would you tell your younger self?
About my journey now?
Yeah. Or something that maybe that you wanted back then and you yearned for it and you might have now. What would be some advice to just, you know, give your younger self?
I probably would tell my younger self anything comes with consistency and patience.
Yeah.
And that's pretty, and be able to accept constructive criticism because, you know, that's important. Excuse me. You gotta know the difference between constructive criticism and somebody trying to play you. You know what I mean? Somebody could tell you, just because somebody telling you something that you don't want to hear, that doesn't mean that it's not something you need to hear.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot. You know, it's not for the faint-hearted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it definitely isn't. And I'm glad that you touched on that because when you were talking about the artist, you said the artist has to be coachable.
My YouTube channel is H.O.S Music Group, H.O.S Music Group, or BaNCroll Bizzy with a C, BaNCroll. BLZY. So and soon, like I said, when the mixtape comes out, I'm gonna be on Tidal. I'm gonna be on the other streams as well. So
make sure y'all stay tuned and get the tape when it released, cause you know I'm getting the hustle vibes. I feel like I'm gonna listen to it and it's gonna make me want to go get some more money. I'm excited to see what it's gonna be.
That's exactly what it's gonna be.
Has there been an event in your life that has impacted you to make you who you are today?
I can't really put my hand on just one event, but I think probably just I come from a long line of grinders, you know what I'm saying? I come from a long line of people that go hard. I come from a long line of entrepreneurs, and that's been my influence on the hustle. When I keep saying hustle, because I was raised in it, you know what I mean? Like, and when I say hustle, I don't mean illegal, you know what I mean? I mean people going to get the bag without somebody saying, I'm gonna pay you this day, you know what I mean? I'm paying you that day, that's all it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my big influence was my family, you know? My family, the people I was around.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
And that means a lot, you know, to come from a strong line of people that have made their own money and made their own thing go. Because, you know, at the end of the day, like working for somebody, what is that going to do for us at the end? You know, if you're not going to excel. So. And
I don't get it twisted. I don't have anything against people that, you know, against working for somebody. But you know, the goal should be to have your own money and do your own thing, be your own boss. You know, I'm just not personal with having a boss per se, you know what I'm saying? But there's nothing wrong with going to work for somebody else.
Definitely not. Long getting your money, you know, I know personally for me, working for somebody else is not what I want to do.
Nah, you don't want to do that, man. You want to like to get up, and when I want to get up and I like to, tell myself what to do. I want nobody telling me what to do. That's me. It feels better with me telling me what to do. I work better like that.
Right. Now this industry is crazy. We was kind of talking about the industry briefly. A lot has changed in the industry. What is one thing that you would change in the industry now, the music industry?
One thing I'll change in the music industry. One thing that I've been hearing recently, I probably would, if I could change one thing in the music industry, I probably would like develop a union for the rappers. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel bad when I hear these legendary rappers like MC Hammer and recently like Styles P. A lot of rappers saying that they put all this work in and they don't see any money in the end, and they've been misrepresented and people took their money and stuff like that. So I think it should be a union for rappers, especially the good rappers. If they went platinum or something like that, they should get something at the end instead of just getting jerked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For real.
That's what I would change.
Yeah.
If I had the power, I would change that.
That's unfortunate because they had so many hits and had so many fans that did so much in their time to, and we see that a lot. A lot of artists lose out on and royalties and everything else.
Hustle ain't on steroids, man.
Yeah, gotta get that hustle on steroids.
You hustle on steroids, it won't happen.
Won't happen. All right, so we've talked about a lot, your journey and everything. So what has been the best advice that you ever received throughout your journey from somebody?
Oh man, the best advice I ever received is definitely from my brother. You know what I'm saying? That's that always move like somebody watching, always talk like somebody listening. You know what I'm saying? As long as you do that, you stand authentic to yourself. Yeah. You gotta stay authentic to yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's probably some of the best advice I ever had, and I live by that to this day. And that's what works, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, I like that for myself.
I always move like they're watching. I always talk like they're listening.
Okay.
Indeed.
Duchess, the trap savior, the gladiator. Do me a favor, don't do me no favors. I've always been the most hated and always been okay with it. Yeah, purple jeans, they my favorite. Your girl rock Gucci, man.
Welcome to dinner. We just left off on his brother, inspiring him and talking about the kind words, the advice that he's giving him. So, before we get into your business, tell us, how has he been as an artist? You've seen him develop.
I'm really proud of him now, like what I see. But as far as the music, he's always been nice. He's always had bars. When you hear the music, you're gonna know. It's the proof is in the pudding. All we need now is what he's looking for is just the exposure. So when some people see him, they can be like, oh, they remember. He's been nice his whole life. I'm not just saying that because that's my brother, but he's nice. Period.
Yeah. And for those that are watching, you gotta have a support system like this. The words and all of that, just support him on a journey. You need people like that in your life. I know y'all brothers, but hey, you need people like that in your life. So let's get on to Royalty Hill. One, he told us that the family is full of entrepreneurs, period. So tell us about the new venture and how that come about.
Well, Royalty Hemp, we've been having that for probably about 2 years. The store, the store is pretty new, but we've been doing Royalty Hemp for about 2 years. It's a CBD dispensary. It's set up just like the actual dispensary that you see like LA and other places. We deal with all type of medicinal products, oils, tinctures. We have the candies, the edibles, just trying to give a alternative to a lot of different illnesses that people have going on. Okay. Yeah.
And where can they, I know they have a store, you have a store in Kinston, North Carolina?
The store's in Kinston. It's on Heritage Street across the street from McDonald's on Vernon Avenue, the first McDonald's in Kinston. The shop has been there about... about 4 months now?
Yeah, probably about 6 months.
Yeah, we're looking to do a second store soon in this area. Okay. My fiance Shamira and my daughter Bria that you saw earlier, they pretty much like head that. I'm kind of like in the background, but it's a family-oriented thing.
Okay, so we just talk about the importance of family. So, what does family mean to both of y'all?
You know what? When my cousin, my big cousin Keith told me, he said, family means forget about me, I love you. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? We just put each other first, you know, we come from a hustle family and, you know, family of love. So, you know, like I always say, it's hustle on steroids, but it's a way of life. Like, we hustle on steroids for real.
It's a religion.
You see everybody 2-3 phones and all that, you know what I'm saying? It's really, you know, we just bring it, and I know it's going to relate to a lot of people because a lot of people, you know, had that same type of mentality. That's the people that I know his music is going to reach. It's authentic, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely. So we have 3 things to look out for, okay? We have the mixtape, we have Royalty Him, and we have Hustle on Steroids. I just want to commend both of y'all for just being positive black men influencing the community because we really need that. You know, it's not a lot, especially in Kingston. We really need more positive influences.
Exactly.
Hustle on Steroids. Make sure y'all hustling every day. And I'm your host, Diamond Alexis, and we are out.
Yeah. Yo, grown man swagger. My catalog is like that of a scammer. I keep the hammer in the Dolce Gabbana. That's rich nigga grammar. You spent your re-up on a thick dancer. She got her body done and moved to Atlanta. Can't knock the hustle. A woman should not want to struggle. Just don't get mad when a nigga judge you. The gift and the curse of hustling. This money come with judgment, especially when it's not coming from the government. I'm dropping jewels. The last samurai like Tom Cruise. I'm drinking on the Palmers, waking up to foreign views. This shit around my neck got them looking real confused. I die for my respect, I live by different principles. A made nigga, Rose Ace of Space Sipper, 80s baby, born in the crack and AIDS epidemic. Nigga, my trap lingo just different. This